What's up everybody, LUY here, salute you wherever you are. Welcome to the second installment of the comparison between Dorian Yates versus Ronnie Coleman versus Jay Cutler. Needless to say, these three pictures right here are not the ones we're gonna use for the comparison here. Dorian Yates was in I think it was a Turkish or Brazilian show, I forgot. He was not in optimal shape. Furthermore, his left biceps, as you guys know, is injured. Ronnie Coleman has some palomboism going on right now. Jay Cutler injured not only his left biceps but also his right one is suspect. And for the record, Dorian Yates injured his biceps here. It was back in '94, 2 weeks prior to Mr. Olympia, and it was done not in a biceps exercise but rather in a back exercise. So let's bring them back all in their heydays. We're gonna start with the shadow, Dorian Yates. In my reckoning, his best shape was rather this one right here when it comes to everything, not only the biceps, but it was in 1993. Now, to be honest, and right from the bat, his biceps was never one of his strength in a sense. Even when he was a young teenager, I'm going to show you a picture real quick when he was a teen. His biceps was not a sight to be seen. This was 21-year-old, by all measures, by all extent of bodybuilding standards, his biceps is definitely not good. Definitely less than average if you ask me, right? No hate right there, I salute him. Let's see him on a side chest, even though it is called a side chest. In French though, we call it biceps cage. So it is still a biceps pose in a sense when you have to display your biceps. And you know, it's good, but not crazy good. I'm sorry. It is not one of his strength. So let's leave this shape right here, because afterwards, anyway, I'm gonna show you a picture when he injured himself. This was probably in 95 or 96. Look at him. So his left biceps was definitely not good, and even the right one. He used to have a special pose in a sense, a signature pose. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. He used to do it rather a lot. And also, what's his name? This one right here. There we go. You know, this was like a signature pose after he wins his Mr. Olympia, but even the right biceps was not a sight to be seen, right? And even him next to the late Joe Weider did not fix it. You know, there was that gap between the shoulder and the biceps. It was just not there. The separation was not optimal. So not only the injury, even if his left one was like this one, it was not a sight to be seen. But that forearm though, this is world class. We're gonna come back because he's definitely a contender in the best forearm ever. So anyway, let's leave that picture right here. Now let's go back to a controversial Ronnie Coleman, because Ronnie Coleman won 8 Mr. Olympias and he changed throughout the years. A lot of you guys know only the big Ronnie Coleman. To be honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of that Ronnie Coleman. Myself, I prefer him when, you know, the first year when he was rather more aesthetic, right? Like here, if you compare him to this latest one, he became too big and his posing became rather awkward. I'm going to show you a clear example of the Ronnie Coleman I knew. He had a clear, huge gyno, right, on the left titties, baby, please. There we go. This was a 98, if I do recall, his first Mr. Olympia. He has a serious gyno here. It doesn't show in this picture, but I'm gonna show it to you a little bit later. This was, you know, the epitome of his, basically, shape in my reckoning. And that biceps, though, it is a classical, heart-shaped, peaky biceps. And I do not say that because I have a peaky bicep. It is just the truth. It is just world class, right? I'll show you that picture I was referring to. It was smaller than the one you knew yourself, guys. This was actually prior to him winning Mr. Olympia. It was probably in 95. Even at that time, look at those crazy bellies, baby, please, in this biceps. And can you say aesthetic? Look at the waistline. You guys only knew the pregnant, kind of huge, overweight Ronnie Coleman. This was the aesthetic guy back in the early 90s. So it was definitely the epitome of the crazy mass development with class. Talking about that guy now. Sorry, Ronnie Coleman, I have to show it. It is here. This was when he won 98, if I'm not mistaken. Biceps is crazy, and he has some TTs action on the left one here. He still won versus Flex Weeder. Anyway, so let's put this picture right here. This was probably in the midterm of his Olympia conquest, and clearly there is no comparison between him and Dorian Yates. He smokes him when it comes to the biceps department. So clearly Dorian Yates is not a contendant to be top dog in this comparison. Let's go to the other guy though, and he is also controversial. Not controversial, but the thing is, he had several shapes, right? And the best one when it comes to pretty much everything is not the latest one, you know, because you guys know this one right here pretty much. For you youngsters, this was where he lost pretty much to Phil Heath. His left biceps, if you can see, he has like a bluish, basically, dot in it, right? Huge dot. That is the injury he sustained. And mysteriously, that biceps looked better than the other one. It's kind of weird, right? So he injured his biceps. It got destroyed. He did a surgery for it. But it is not the one problematic. The one problematic is the other one. This one literally melted. I spoke about it several times. Not only the biceps, but also the radiobrachialis. Both of them are suffering some kind of palumboism, if you ask me. So, let's find the best shape of this dude right here. And in my reckoning, it was this one right here, 2001. Now, in 2001, this dude placed second to Ronnie Coleman. It was the first time. He was young. He came from nowhere. And it was one of the best shapes of his life ever. Look at this round biceps. Textbook. If you open up a anatomy book, you will look at this shape right here, right? Definitely better than his latest shapes. I'm going to show you another one just to compare to see what I'm talking about. Actually, this one was probably a little bit later. It was not bad here too. But the latest years, like this one here, there we go. You can clearly see his left biceps melted, right? Compare them, the two. Actually, the right one, this one versus this one, got really, really smaller, right? This is what's up. And during the last years, it was even worse. There we go. He became literally smallish. Sorry, bud. Look at that. Compare the two. Absolutely no comparison whatsoever. He became too small, melted, right? So we'll leave one of these shapes right here and compare them all, right? Now, clearly, as I said, Dorian Yates is out of contest. Does not just compete. Even when he was not injured, his biceps looked really awkward. Jay Cutler, his biceps is very good. Textbook. But in nothing but peanuts compared to these huge baboon testicles. I'm talking about elephant testicles right here. Literally mammoth testicles, right? One of the craziest, probably, you know, you can put it top 5 best biceps ever. People don't talk about him because he was so good elsewhere. And even when he was big, those crazy years that you guys like in 2003, that bicep was still crazy good. I mean, he lost aesthetic, granted, but dearie me, on a daily, every pose he does is just crazy. Literally mammoth testicles right here. So needless to say, number one in every pose related to the biceps and also the muscle group is Ronnie Coleman. Not a single doubt about it. Followed by Jay Cutler, who has also a world-class biceps and also a world-class front double bi. And lastly, it will be Mr. Dorian Yates. He was just not a serious contestant. Even by his own account, I do recall he was saying that he was thinking that Nasser El Sambari was having a front double biceps better than his. So that's it, guys. Salute you wherever you are. Tell me what you think about it. And before letting you go, let me open up this comparison picture between, there we go, Ronnie Coleman versus Chris Cormier versus top of a line Jay Cutler, and you clearly see that he smokes them out of the water. Is absolutely no contest when it comes to the biceps. So wherever you are, don't forget to like the video. I'll be coming back with more comparisons quite soon.